Hey everybody, I'm Fabi Aguirre. I play Lane on Snow Day on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus, and I am here at the Man Cave Chronicles with Elias.
Fabi, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Exciting times. Right before we got on the air, we talked about originally from Boston. You have a new project, Snow Day, which premiered at Paramount Plus about a week or so, right?
On Friday, yeah.
And then Nickelodeon on December 16th. It's a great movie. You know, I have a 7-year-old daughter. We watched it. She loves those type of movies, musicals. So it was fun watching it with her. And we'll talk about it a little bit more in a few minutes. I was doing some research on you. I want to know, you've been all over the place. You've done dancing, acting. What's left? Is there any more? Something else you want to add to that bucket list?
Something else what I'd love to do? I'd love to do gymnastics a little bit. I probably never will because I'm very afraid, but I'd love to. That's like a fun hobby of mine that I wanted to discover.
Right. So yeah. What made you fall in love with the entertainment industry?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I basically started singing since I came out of the womb. When I was like six and a half, I would always like watch videos on YouTube, like especially like Phantom of the Opera. I would love to watch Sierra Boggess and Ramin Karimloo on there, and I'd be like, and then like so out of nowhere, like I would just start belting out these like high notes, and my parents were like, "Wait, do that again?" And so I did it, and then they got me into singing classes, and I went through so many teachers, and I learned how to sing, and then with my singing coach, I learned how to act. So I instantly fell in love. Like at a young age, I would always put on shows for my friends and family. Like this, I knew this was something that I wanted to do since I was very, very young.
So you started out like with like dancing and theater. Was the goal always also TV and film?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think first I wasn't like, I didn't know that much about TV and film. So the first thing I went to was musical theater. And then as the years went on, as I did, I was like, I want to try like TV and film now. And then I think when I was about 11, 12, I started to audition for TV and film.
What do you enjoy more? Theater, TV, film?
I could never choose. I think they're both so different and so much fun. So I think it's very, very difficult to choose.
Yes. What's the process going through preparing to go on stage for theater, and how different is it now for TV and film?
It is very different. I think both of them include just, studying the character a lot, and going on this like deep search and like diving into the character and knowing what her motives, and like a full-on character search, like to feel some sort of connection with her. For theater, I think it's we warm up a lot of it like a little bit beforehand too, since it's live. For this film, I did try to sing. We had pre-recorded the songs, and but I did try to sing live as well. It was a bit more difficult in the cold, but yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes because it's like live theater, it's live, right? You fall, there's no going back. But right. In TV there's some sort of like a little bit more of like, okay, like we can do this again if things don't go well. So yes.
Last question about a theater. Is there a place in the world that you kind of hope you get a chance to perform someday that you haven't done yet?
Oh, I would love to do like the West End or any theater in London. That would be a dream come true.
Yeah, that's awesome. Listen, because I know you've done Broadway.
Yes.
How fun was that? Or how exciting?
It was a blast. And actually the first show I did, Les Mis, I got to work with Ramin Karimloo, who I had adored for so many years, and he was the sweetest person ever. So I think like, oh, it was truly a dream come true. I got to work with such incredibly talented people, and just going to the theater every day was like, yeah, this is my life, and it's so fun. It's so fun. It's the best
Awesome.
job I've ever done.
So yeah, let's jump into your latest project, Snow Day, as I mentioned earlier. It's just recently premiered Paramount Plus and also on Nickelodeon. What do you think made this movie so special, and how were you approached for the movie?
I think what made this movie so special was the fact that it's a musical remake, so I think you do get a different like twist to this classic film. It's a different generation too, and we've added so much new elements to the characters. We it's definitely it's definitely a bit more different than the original one in 2000, which was an incredible film, and like I said, a classic. So I think having these musical elements kind of help, especially me as an actor, bring more into the character, because singing, and especially myself, I've grown up with musical theater, like singing and dancing kind of portray a character away in a different way, that it's not through written dialogue. And so having this the freedom to explore this character and sing her heart out and sing what she wants is definitely what makes this film very cool. And also the message, it's anything can happen when you truly believe in yourself, and you're determined to achieve your goals, and yeah, nothing is impossible. So I think that's pretty cool.
So we see you in the movie as Lainey. Did you go back to watch the original just to get a like, not like, I know you wanted to play the character a different way, but just to get an idea of the old movie?
Yeah, actually, well, when I first auditioned, I didn't know. I had never heard of the movie. And then I saw it was a remake, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But that was it. I was like, oh, okay. And then as I got into the audition process more, I started kind of like stalking the cast, and I saw who was in it. And then when I got it, I watched the movie for the first time, because I feel like it was important to keep Skylar Fisk's, the original Lane, her heart and her essence into it, but also just as important to bring my own personality and flair to the character.
How did you approach now to play this character?
Well, it definitely, like, I had like I said, I wanted to study kind of Skylar and what she brought into her character, but I did want to make sure that it had a bit of my own taste, because she's such a loved character by so many, and so it's like I don't want to mess anything up. So yeah, so I think I really dove into her and kind of explored like why she was the way that she is. I'd like to create a whole backstory on her, like just make something up about her family, because we don't get to see Lane's family, right? So just kind of create a whole backstory to her, to feel some sort of connection with her, because Lane and we are very similar in the sense that we use like sarcasm as a coping mechanism, but she's much more fearless than I am. And so I like to kind of just create this idea of her where I'm like, oh yeah, her and I are the same in this sense. So, and then being able to portray that on screen helps me so much, just to feel more connected to her.
So we mentioned it's a musical also. Like before you started filming the scenes and everything, what did you go through for like dancing, learning the dance sequence, the singing and everything? How long was that before you jumped on set?
So before we actually, about in December, we found out we had gotten the role, and on the breakdown of the character, when I first auditioned, they said ice skating ability is a plus. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Okay. And then I didn't think anything of it. Then as the process went on, okay, then before we tested, they said, can you send us a video ice skating? Can you ice skate? And I was like, yeah, I and it's true, like I don't fall, but I won't, flip and turn and do pirouettes on skates. So I what I did, I immediately from that point on, every day, every week, going to I had an ice skating rink 5 minutes away from my house, thank God. So I started ice skating, just trying to get more comfortable on skates. And then for the songs, we recorded the songs in my mom's closet. Actually, we recorded them at home, and just surrounded by clothes and everything. So we first recorded Lane's song, then a day later the finale, and then we finally learned all the choreography back in Montreal, maybe like a week or two prior to the start of shooting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What do you think was like the biggest challenge playing this character in the movie?
Ooh, I think the biggest challenge playing this character, I think it was definitely trying to keep some sort of that like nostalgia from 2000, because as I said before, she is a very loved character, and so many people have such a connection to this movie. And I wanted to make sure that they still felt the presence of the original Lane in 2000. And yeah.
Now with your dancing background, did you find it easier doing the musical numbers too?
Yes, I think it helps a lot. And also, it's singing and dancing is just a way to like let things go, and just all your worries just like melt away with it. So yeah, it definitely helped.
Awesome. Now, how was it working with the cast now?
Oh, the cast, my favorite people on earth. They are just incredible. I remember we had the option to either fly on a Saturday or Sunday to Montreal, Quebec. And I flew in on Saturday, and I think it was, I forgot what it was, but we were like waiting for like our work visa, right? At that little like place in the airport. And I saw Kai Baldwin, who plays Hal, and Shelby Simmons, who plays Claire. I saw them at the airport, and I was like, oh my God, that's them. I kind of started fangirling first. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, I was so nervous to go say hi, but I went, and they instantly made me feel welcomed. And then oh my God, they ended up, Kai Baldwin, my best friend, and, Michaela Russell, everyone, like we all became so close. Like every weekend we would either just go ice skating, or we would build a horrible snowman, or just stay in my apartment and watch movies. Kai and I would have Marvel marathons, because I'd never watched like all the Marvel things before. And then we got to work. We were so well taken care of by the amazing crew. And Michael Lembeck, our director, he has directed so many of my favorite childhood, like the Tim Allen Santa Clauses, like, oh my God. So getting to work with him, and Friends, getting to work with him was an absolute dream come true. And I learned so much from so many of them, and I'm so grateful. They've become my favorite people. Yeah.
That's awesome. And like I mentioned earlier too, like I watched this with my daughter. She loved it, of course. What are you hoping for? Like, even for the people that haven't watched it yet, they're about to watch it when they go on vacation during the holidays and they watch Snow Day. What are you hoping they get out of this film?
I hope they get out of this film that you're able to realize that anything is possible when you truly believe in yourself. Nothing is ever impossible, and if you're determined, you can really achieve anything.
Movie's called Snow Day. I gotta know.
Yes.
Did you ever have snow days when you were younger? What was your favorite part of it? Like I remember, like when I would wake up, school would get canceled. I'm older than you, so I would have to wait for the news to come up to tell me when it's canceled.
Oh my God.
And then I would go back to bed, wake up with my brother, go play video games or go outside. That was it.
Yes. No, I was born in Boston, right? So I definitely had snow days. My snow days were a bit more different than our snow days now, because I was much younger, so I was only allowed to play for a certain amount of time before the snow would eat me. And then I lived in New York for two years. So I remember this one. It was in December. It was probably exactly 4 years ago, and I remember we had everything. We were walking to the theater, and we got an email or a call from our stage manager being like, "No, everything shut down. Go back home," because it was a horrible blizzard. And that night we were just walking around, my parents and I, and we had gone to Times Square, because everything was shut down and everyone was just playing in the snow. And then out of nowhere, these two teams just separated. Random strangers, they just separated into two teams, and they all started having a snowball fight. So we joined in, and it was like a snow day. It was and it's so fun to see like how a big community just comes together to have a snow day, which is incredible.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's getting along, having fun, and a little snowball fight.
Exactly. What more could you ask for?
You
It's
can
awesome.
forget about stress for a few minutes.
Exactly. That's all you need.
That's all you need. Fabi, what's next for you now? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about? Do you have coming up or releasing?
Yeah, 2023, I'm graduating. I'm a senior. So I hope to actually graduate a couple of months earlier, maybe by March or April. And yeah, I plan to work on my music, audition. And then I think by August, I would love to move out to LA to pursue TV and film more because it's better to be over there. Yeah.
That's right. Fabi, lastly, how can the listeners and viewers that tune this interview, how can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Fabi Aguirre Official.
Fabi, this was great. Thank you for giving me a few minutes today.
Thank you so much for having me, Elias. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So